Hey guys, up? Back with no video. This time we're gonna do a review of this pay-per-view right here, Slammiversary 2021. Thought I'd leave it a day or so because because I didn't want to get people confused with Slammiversary last Sunday. So I thought I'd wait a day or so and get and then watch this event and then do a review of it. So uh, about half an hour ago, I just got finished watching it. I watched it instead of watching Raw, and I'll watch Raw later on in the day. So we'll see about the Raw review. Anyway, Slammiversary. This is the Slammiversary 2021. This is the first event back with fans in over a year. Slammiversary 2020 was the first pay-per-view without fans, the pandemic era. So let's do the shizzle. Let's get this shizzle over way, shall we? First off, we kicked off the pay-per-view with the Ultimate X match. Damn, it feels like so long ago. This was great. We had Josh Alexander, Rohit Raju. Let me try to figure the competitors. We had Josh Alexander, Rohit Raju, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Petey Williams, and Trey Miguel. I think I might be missing someone, I'm not sure. But yeah, this match was great. It was Ultimate X match, a lot of X Division stuff, and you had the big guy Josh Alexander in there, and it was awesome. Awesome stuff. I loved the parts where Rohit would try to find ways to get the bout without actually climbing the structure, which was funny. Yeah, and it was a great match, and I really enjoyed it. And Josh retained and moved on. It carried on his momentum going into the fall of 2021 when he would go on to the next pay-per-view, Bound for Glory. So yeah. Next match we had Brian Myers teaming up with Tennille Dashwood against Chelsea Green. They debuted the returning Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona. Unlike Rebellion, the match at Rebellion with Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, I didn't really care for. This was fine. I thought this was all right. I think that the aspects of Chelsea Green being in there and the whole real life implications of Matt Cardona being, him and Tennille Dashwood having a history in real life, being together, and Chelsea Green now being the fiance of Matt Cardona at that time. There was a lot of cool aspects in it, and it was fun. It was all right. I thought it was a lot better than the Rebellion match. So yeah, it didn't overstay its welcome too. It didn't overstay its welcome. So yeah. Then next match we had W. Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards. This was a good big guy versus small guy match. I mean, I'm not going to say Eddie Edwards is small, but compared to Morrissey, as small. It was a good, wasn't expecting Morrissey to get backdropped on the rampway and then have a Boston Knee Party down the ramp. Well, I say down the ramp. It's like a couple of inches between the ramp and the ring. So. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Cool spot. And then Eddie Edwards, the die-hard ability, the die-hard baby face, wouldn't give up, and kept trying to chop down the big guy, and eventually the big guy had to resort to using a chain to destroy the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling, Eddie Edwards, on this night. So W. Morrissey gets the win. I loved the push that W. Morrissey. It was a good little run there when he first came into Impact. To take the stain of Big Cass off, it was really good. Morrissey proved himself. Really good performance, really good stuff. Next match we have Fulton and Shearer interrupting the broadcast because they were banned from ringside for the Ultimate X match. So they hijacked the show basically, and that happens quite often in Impact. So maybe Scott D'Amore needs to get better security or something. Get better horns on his show. Get better horns onto his show. You know what I mean? Like to get better control. Anyway, yeah, they hijacked the show, Fulton and Shearer, and then Scott Demore was like, "Oh yeah, you want to hijack the show or something?" No, I'm not. He didn't say all this directly. It was almost like, I'm paraphrasing, but he was almost like, "Yeah, you want a match? Okay, I got two guys in the back who want to fight some ass, and let's do it." And ends up being Finjuice, the returning Finjuice, who lost the tag team titles, and they came back for this night. And then this match was nothing much. It was just a showcase for Finjuice, and it went about 2 minutes or 3 minutes of that, and Finjuice picked up the win. A good showcase match, and I think it was a good small match. It was good. It was a good little break between the two matches, in between the two big men versus small men matches that we got between Morrissey and Edwards and then we had Moose and Saban, which was up next. Speaking of that match, we have Moose versus Chris Saban. When I heard this was up next, I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool, because I like Moose, and Chris Saban's pretty good too. And yeah, they had a pretty good match. Moose, my God, those chops that Moose delivered on the outside were freaking horrible, man. Terrible. It was, ooh, I could feel it on my chest. It was terrible. And but Saban hanged in there, and he did some good stuff. And by halfway through, I actually forgot who I was cheering for, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a really good match. And Chris Saban keeps proving that time is, he's ageless, he's timeless. He's really good. Chris Saban. And then he got the shock win over Moose as well. Moose got a bit carried away and got rolled up, and that was pretty cool. Because I remember back in last year when I did the predictions for this pay-per-view, I picked Moose to win this match, because I thought that Moose was going to be getting a big push going into the fall, and probably be the one that I mean, I know he had only just lost to Kenny Omega against all odds, so to get back on that track. But yeah, Chris Saban getting the victory here was pretty surprising at the time. But it was pretty decent. It was a pretty awesome match. I liked that match. Next up, we had the Fatal 4-Way for the tag team titles. We had Violent by Design of Rhino and Doring taking on the Good Brothers, taking on Willie Mack and Rich Swann, taking on the team of Fallah Bahh, and it was supposed to be TJP, but TJP couldn't make the event, so Fallah Bahh had to have a mystery partner, and end up being No Way, the former No Way Jose from the WWE. And this was fun. Fun stuff. The conga line was fun. I was laughing at D'Lo Brown when D'Lo Brown was like, "Oh, you gotta hold me back, Matt Striker. You gotta hold me back, because I might start getting up and dancing." Like, you sit down, D'Lo. We don't want to see that, pal. That was pretty cool. I like that. The Good Brothers were sneaky, and they basically they dominate the match for the most part, and then just as Rhino and Doring looked like they were going to retain, the Good Brothers snuck in there and took advantage and ended up winning the tag team titles. So Slammiversary has been pretty good to the Good Brothers, as we learned last Sunday at the 2022 Slammiversary. They debuted 2020 Slammiversary. They won the tag team titles here, and of course, spoiler alert, unless you haven't watched Slammiversary 2022. They beat the Briscoes to win the tag team title. So, pretty good stuff. The Good Brothers Slammiversary's been like been very good to the Good Brothers. So, there you go. That was a good match. Really good match. I really enjoyed that. Next match, we had Deonna Purrazzo defending her knockout championship against a mystery opponent. And, spoiler alert, this, the person who was already on the back and already knew anyway, so ended up being Thunder Rosa, and this was the match I was looking forward to. Thunder Rosa is awesome, and through watching these, I mean, I'd always heard about Deonna Purrazzo being great in Impact, but I never really took notice too much, you know what I mean? That's my bad. But watching her last couple, since Slammiversary 2020, going through the old pay-per-views, her matches have been constantly good, really good stuff, and this was no different. Really enjoyed this match. Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo really brought it. Awesome stuff, and really fun stuff. And I liked how she kept trying to go for the armbar, but Thunder Rosa kept countering it, and so she went to another move instead, which was the pile driver. I forget what she calls it, like the Queen's something, the Queen something or something. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it's like a power driver, and got the win. And yeah, it was a pretty cool match. I like that stuff, and then the aftermath really set up what was going to happen in the future, and I like that. Had purpose. So Mickie James, Mr. Hardcore Country, and by God, does she look awesome, man. I know I said awesome a lot, but damn, Hardcore Country. Whew. She came out and she looked amazing. She looked like $1 billion. She looked awesome. And she came out and basically interrupted Deonna Purrazzo and then wanted her to, she was inviting her to the NWA In Power event. And whenever that was, I forgot what it was. I think it was the next month or something. And and Deonna Purrazzo was like, "Oh, of course you want me on the event. Like all companies want me on their events, but you claim you respect me, but you disrespected me right here. Basically by interrupting me. Like you think you so." And then she mentioned the trash bag. Take your trash bag and go home. And Mickie didn't take too kindly and laid her out and looked good doing it. And Mickie James and that set up the path, the road to the path of their collisions in the future with Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James going into Bound for Glory and Hard to Kill in 2022. So yeah, that was pretty nice, awesome stuff. And then finally, if I'm not missing anything, making sure, yeah. And then finally, we have the main event. We have Kenny Omega defending the Impact World Championship against Sami Callihan. Almost said Sammy Guevara. I'm sorry, guys. Sami Callihan in a no disqualification match, and as advertised, it was barbaric. It was destruction. It was awesome. It was brutal. Pizza cutters. I loved it. There's a side of me every now and then I just love a good no disqualification match, especially when they get all sadistic and bloody and all that stuff. I'm not a sadistic person. It's just every now and then I like to, if they're gonna have a stipulation match, I like them to live up to that. Live up to that. No bullshit. No pussy. No pussying away. Like no stopping the match because someone's got a paper cut. Pussy stuff. Oh, you're going too far. Yes, I still remember that match from Hell in the Cell 2019. But anyway, that's not less say about that, the better. And yeah, this match was good. And knowing what we know now about Kenny Omega's injuries that he was going through around this time, some of the bumps he had taken this match was, it's amazing. It really is. He took a power driver through a table on the outside. I knew that it actually went off without a hinge, but when they were both standing on that table, I was expecting the table to give way, and I was like, "Oh, please don't give way! Please don't give way! Please don't give way!" Just, you know what I mean? Like, and thankfully it didn't give way, and until the actual, until he power drove him through it. And yeah, pretty good. Don Callis on commentary was hilarious. Piece of trash. Basically saying, and the ending was fun. Sammy got distracted by Don, and then got tax thrown at him, and then Kenny did a weird thing with the tax where he put the tax in his knee. I don't know how that would affect too much. I don't know. And then, sorry, burp. And then, put him away with the one-winged angel, and nobody kicks out of the one-winged angel. Anyhow, so yeah, that was a pretty good match. I loved the match. Awesome stuff. And then after the match, the Good Brothers and Don Callis go to do their Too Sweet, and the lights go out, and the Bullet Club theme hits, and out comes Jay White. then the never openweight champion, and pretty cool stuff. So yeah, Slammiversary 2022. That's how the show ends. 2022, Slammiversary 2021. Awesome stuff. I give it an 8 out of 10. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll see you again later. Have a nice day. I'm out.